Does your pressure washer not make any pressure? Does the motor just hum? If so, you likely need a new motor and pump assembly. The motor and pump assembly consists of a motor and pump that are already joined together, a new pressure switch, and all of the necessary wiring. Common problems with the motor and pump assembly are a motor failure causing the motor to not turn on, a seized motor causing the motor to just hum, no pressure from the pump, water leaking from the pump, and oil leaking from the pump. Replacing the motor and pump assembly is a repair that you can do yourself, and I'm going to show you how. Hi, I'm Mark Soja. Do-it-yourself repairs like these are easier than you might think. From lawn machines to cordless drills, kitchen mixers, outdoor grills, our how-to videos walk you through each repair from start to finish. So doing it yourself means never having to do it alone. Let's get started. I'll begin by removing the soap tank from the pressure washer frame. I'll remove the soap dispensing hose from the pump, and now I can remove the tank from the frame. Now remove the motor and pump housing. Now remove the cover plate from the back of the switch inside the housing. That'll allow us to disconnect the wires. Now we can go ahead and disconnect the wires. You'll want to take note of the location of each wire before removing them so you can refer to it during reassembly. I'll start with the wire nut, remove it, and pull the two wires apart. Next, I have the black wire from the pressure switch. It goes down to the on-off switch, and I'll just pull it away from the terminal. Then I have the white wire from the motor also going to the switch, and I'll remove it. And now I can pull these wires away from the switch cover. The wires do pass through grommets, so I'll need to pull those out of the cover as well. With the wires removed, now I can go ahead and remove the motor and pump assembly from the frame. It's held in place with just a couple of screws and a clamping strap. I'll go ahead and remove the strap, and then I can pull the motor right out. There's a number of parts that are on the old pump that we need to transfer over to the new pump to get it ready to go back into the pressure washer. We'll start with the inlet and outlet tubes. They're held in place with some U-shaped clips. I can put a screwdriver in the gap between the U connector and the housing and pry the clip out. Once the clip has been removed, I can go ahead and pull the fitting away from the pump. And I'll repeat this on the inlet fitting. Next, I'll remove these two shields. They separate the dry side of the pump from the wet, basically so you don't get water into the motor. They just pull away. You'll notice that there's a gasket here that's not on the new pump, and we will need to add this. This is a separate part. There's also two rubber isolators on the pump. I'll remove those. Next, we'll remove this grommet that the two motor wires pass through. The problem here is that this terminal has been installed on the end of the wire, so we can't just simply thread the grommet over it. We'll have the same problem when we try to reinstall it on the new pump. The easiest solution is to just carefully cut the grommet Now I can slide it off the wire and slide it onto the new one. There's a protective sleeve on each of the motor wires. I'll remove those next. The one on the black wire just simply slides off. Again, the one on the white wire, which has the terminal, will be a little more difficult, because I have to thread it over that terminal. With all the parts removed from the old pump, now I'll begin installing them onto the new one. And I'll start with the wire protectors. Again, on the white wire you have the terminal, and this part will take a little while to do. Slide the protector over the terminal, and then it's just a matter of slowly working the protector over that terminal and onto the wire. Now reinstall the protector on the black wire. Followed by the grommet. The side of the grommet that I didn't cut goes over the black wire. And the side that was cut will slide onto the white wire. Now I'll install the new foam seal. And again, this part is not included with the pump. It will need to be purchased separately. It has an adhesive backing. I'll pull off the paper and get it started, stick it on the pump, and then I just work this all the way around the pump. I'll slide on the rubber isolators. Now reinstall the inlet tube. You'll notice that there's two notches cut in the inlet tube, and those need to line up with the holes on the pump housing. I'll secure it with the U-clip. And I'll do the same thing with the outlet tube. And now I'll place the shields back onto the pump. These go over the foam tape. Now I can place the motor assembly back into the housing. I need to make sure that I line up the shields with the slot in the housing itself. Once it's in place, I'll resecure the motor with the strap and screws. Now I'll insert each of the wires through the switch plate and install the grommets. And a small screwdriver is helpful to do this. Just want to be careful not to tear the grommet. And now I'll do the other wire. Now I'll reconnect all the wires. I'll start with the white wire from the pressure switch and the black wire from the motor. These get twisted together and secured with a wire nut. Next, the black wire from the pressure switch gets reconnected back to the on-off switch, and it goes directly above the black wire from the cord. And last, the white wire from the motor gets connected back to the on-off switch, and again right above the white wire from the cord. Now I can reinstall the switch box cover plate. There's a grommet that seals the plate. I want to make sure I have that in place. I'll insert the screws through the switch plate cover and then through the holes on the grommet, and this will hold the grommet in place. Now make sure I have the wires all tucked into the switch box. Make sure I have nothing where it's going to get pinched by the cover. And I'll re-secure the cover. And now I can go ahead and reinstall the motor cover. As I place it back over the motor, I want to make sure again that I have all the wires out of the way and nothing's going to get pinched. I also have the shield on the pump that I need to line up with the slot on the housing. Now I can secure it with the screws. When I'm driving screws back into plastic, I like to use a screwdriver to start them to make sure I don't cross thread them. And then I'll go back and quickly finish up each screw with the impact driver. And now I'll finish the repair by reinstalling the soap tank. The tabs on the tank go underneath the rails, and then the tank gets secured with a bolt, a washer, and a lock nut. And the soap delivery hose just presses back onto the fitting on the pump. Be sure to check back often for new videos and expert advice. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment.